First, we need to remove the right tail light. And why the right tail light, you ask? Well, it's easier to route your wires through the right side of the dashboard and have the option to easily remove the glove box and connect the wires to the radio. That being said, locate and loosen the plastic wing nuts behind the lights. Sometimes there might be a cover over the wing nuts and may be fastened with these plastic pegs. Just pop them out with a screwdriver or by hand and put them to a side. Once the plastic wing nuts are removed, you will need a tool to pry the light out. This may be difficult because there might be a silver ball joint on the right side that holds the light in the correct position but will pop out once pried. You should be able to use a flathead screwdriver while prying the tail light, and please be careful and avoid the sharp edges around the light when pulling. Next, we need to locate the lamp above the license plate, where there will usually be an opening so we can fish our video and power to the camera. Since my license plate is mounted into the rear bumper, it was either remove the bumper or use something to pull the wires through to the taillight. The plan is to use the taillight and reverse light as a power source. The best way I found was to use a coat hanger and some tape to pull the wires through to the taillight. Once you pull the video through, tape the power cable to the coat wire and pull the cable in the opposite direction. Now it's time to plug both cables into the camera. Tape them so they won't come loose. And tuck them into the hole. Now you may mount the camera to the car. On my car there's only 2 screws, which I would prefer there were 4, but they will hold. To prevent theft, there are these security screws only you have the tool to remove them with. I highly suggest this. Now comes the wiring part of our installation, which may look intimidating at first, but it is quite simple really. We are only touching the reverse light wires and merging the positive and negative wires of the camera to them so that when we place a vehicle in reverse, it will power the camera and transmit a signal to our radio to auto change and input display to reverse camera. To do this, we'll use a process called splitting wires. We'll use a 3-way splitter for the negative and a 4-way splitter for the positive, which will also connect the signal cable to the radio. Only cut the reverse light wires, both positive and negative, which was the white and black cable. You want to make sure that when you cut the wires, you don't cut them too close to the connector. You want to leave some length of wire just in case you make a mistake and you need to cut again. During the wiring process, you will need a stripper tool. You will need to strip all wires after you cut them. If you don't have a stripper tool, then you can use scissors. It may not be as accurate, but it will get the job done. Here is the 3-way splitter for the negative, which is the black wires. Just push all 3 negative wires all the way in and it will stay permanently until cut. Of course, if you don't want to use splitters or you don't have the money and time, you can also just twist them together and use electrical tape, but the possibility of the wires cut undone are very likely, if not done properly. After stripping the wires, you're going to want to twist the ends so that when you push them into the splitter, it will go in easy and will lock in place the first time. To test the camera, you must find a TV that supports RCA or a converter box from RCA to HDMI. Before you start the testing process, make sure you pull the emergency brake up, then turn the accessory key to on, and then place the car in reverse. Once you're finished testing, we are now ready to run the video cable to the radio. You're going to need to remove some plastic panels along the way. Remove the tabs slowly. What tool will you need, you ask? A flathead screwdriver, of course. Now it's time to run our 20-foot cable or more, depending on your vehicle, to the radio. Let's move on to the four-way splitter, shall we? This time we'll connect all positive wires, including the signal wire. It's time to locate the purple white wire. This wire will enable the radio to switch to camera mode when it receives the 12-volt power while your vehicle is in reverse. After locating the purple white striped wire, I chose the method of crimping. I didn't want to use solder this time because I didn't want to run the risk of dropping hot solder inside the car, burning a hole in the center console, or worse. Once you have finished connecting the wire to the radio, it is now time to reconnect all connectors and install our radio. If you wish to see how I install the radio removing my console, go ahead and check out my previous video, the Pioneer AVH X4800 BS. Looks like the eSky's rear view camera is a complete success. I have been using this camera night and day and rain and past all expectations. If you liked this video and wanted to see more like it, please like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.